What up, y'all? Sir Cash here, back with another review. Today's car is a 2019 Lexus IS300. This is the inline four-banger that has the rear-wheel drive turbo. It has about 241 horsepower and about 258 foot-pounds of torque. Now, this is a loaner car, and as I do with any loaner car that I get, I'm gonna do a review on it. So, what's my initial thoughts on the car? It's pretty aggressive in the front. Either you're gonna like that front or not. I think it looks better in the F Sport model than it does in the base model, but it looks really good. I've seen a lot of people do the black and white color combo just on their personal vehicles. So for Lexus to kind of take it that way, I think they did a good job on it. In the front, you're gonna have 18-inch wheels on 225, 40, 18, and in the back, you're gonna have 255. 255, 35, 18-inch wheels. And of course, this is a sedan, and it's not that big on the inside. Let me just show you. Look how much space you do not have with that. That's all the way back. I'll get to the interior later. Let me talk more about the outside. All right, so what I like about the car, obviously the styling on it. It is pretty slick. I will say that Lexus really hasn't changed the IS300 too much since debuting it. I don't know how long Lexus is going to keep it going. This car currently only has about 6,000 miles on it, so it still smells new. It's brand new. It's obviously a loaner car that the dealership actually lets people take, and today I did an oil change, so you know, back with another loaner car. The wheels look really great on this car. They're not black as much as kind of like a more of a metallic look, and I'm pretty sure with some nice tire shine they'll blend in all well. The headlights are awesome. Definitely has an aggressive stance. You're going to get the LED headlight, and it has all of Lexus and Toyota's normal features that I've talked about before: the lane departure and the adaptive cruise control. And so, you know, you kind of see what you get. So now let's talk about the inside. I've been wanting to talk about this. All right, you're going to get the black and red interior. As you see, it is pretty small in here. I'm 6 foot, about 250 pounds, and this is very small for me to get into. One thing that I will say off the bat is there's some features from this car that I feel like they're missing. I actually opened up the glove department and I seen the retail price on the car. The car cost $48,000. And you know what you're missing with $48,000? You have no adjustments for the seat. If I get in this car or somebody else gets in the car, I have to form it to the way I want it, and that's just how it's going to stay. You have no telescopic automatic telescopic steering wheel. You have to manually do that. Are you serious? For $48,000, I don't have that. Yeah, my steering wheel might be heated, but that's, you know, I kind of like the option of like me not having to do this to adjust. That looks so janky for $48,000. Let's hop inside. All right. So as you see with the cluster, it's pretty nice. That's the sport cluster, and then that's your normal driving mode. I'll turn off my lights. And the steering wheel feels great. If you've owned a Lexus before, you'll kind of be used to the steering wheel. It's nothing, you know, spectacular, but I do like the red stitching on it. The red stitching does flow all the way throughout the car, and it is pretty awesome. Well, I pointed up there, but there's no stitching up there. But it's here on the sides. The black and red does look good. I've driven multiple Lexus vehicles with the black and red interior, so, you know, it's pretty nice. That's gross. And that's your rear seat. This is a vehicle for somebody who, if you have kids, you're going to get out of this car when they grow up. And I'll tell you that right now, because if you have boys or if they get tall, you're not going to have any space in there. I mean, my son is 14, almost going on 15, and he needs that much space. And I have a 9-year-old, and that is not a lot of space for a 9-year-old. And you're going to get your rear vents. I wish this had a rear window shade, but sometimes I can be biased because I own a GS and I kind of miss all the features in a GS, and you would think you would see them in another vehicle. You get the big 12-inch display, but if this is my driving position right here, it actually cuts off some of the actual display. I would have to lean up to see the rest of the display, which is kind of weird. Your normal Lexus infotainment center, you know, if you've seen my videos, you've all been here before, but this is your first time, and this is the first time for me. These are actually touch to raise and lower the temperature. I didn't get that at first. I was like, where's the upper and lower? But then when I seen it here, and then you got your dual climate zone, and like I said before, you got your cooled seats, your heated steering wheel. This controls your map. You have an enter button on right here and on the other side right here. I don't like how finicky this is. I wish Lexus would do something about this, because in my 15 GS, mine has a little bit more resistance. This is so touchy. And with the screen, you can, you can put on your navigation or your music or things of that nature. So it's okay, it's a big screen, but the field of view, if you're driving like this, I just don't like the fact that this is too high for the screen. Maybe if they cut into this a little bit more and raise the screen up just a little bit more, but I don't like the fact that some of my screen seems tucked away underneath there. So that's kind of a gripe that I have. And anytime you start the car, it's gonna always be in eco mode, and you can switch it to sport. Now, I want to talk about actually driving the vehicle. So I put about 50 miles in the car since I've gotten it. When you have a V6, or let's just say you're coming from an American V8 and you kind of want to switch over to Japanese brand cars, this car will feel extremely sluggish to you. I will tell you that right now. You put your foot down on the gas and the car just feels like it's hesitating to go. I don't know if that is because of the spool of the turbo, but I'll go ahead and just take this around the block. So it feels extremely sluggish. Like if I put my foot down on the car, I would expect for it just to go. But that is me literally flooring the vehicle, and it is not trying to go anywhere. And so I was really kind of disappointed, even though this is a heavy car, and I'm not going to say that this needs a performance version, because I noticed that Lexus, their F brands are more of a visual than anything else. At least with this car, you get a Titan suspension when you get the F brand, and of course you get the outside kind of like additional features. But as far as sportiness is concerned, it doesn't feel necessarily sporty. And just besides the sluggishness, it has one horrible backdraw, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this. This car has fake engine noises. I can't believe it. It is horrible. So I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna floor it. Do you hear that? I hope you did, because it's a fake engine noise. Instead of actually having like a deeper exhaust, or maybe just a little bit more spool from the turbo that you can hear, they pump in fake engine noise. Now, I don't know who this car is marketed for, because if you're an older person, you might be into this car just to, go to and fro. But if you're somebody who's into kind of, you kind of want a sports sedan, and I really wouldn't call this a sedan by that much because it's really small in here, but I don't know if that's going to be like a huge selling point. I wish there was a way to turn it off. If there is a way to turn it off, I haven't found out. I haven't been able to play with this car long enough to see about the fake engine noise, but it's just something that seems like a really big turn off. And I don't know what's Lexus' reasoning behind it. So yeah, the sluggishness and the fake engine noise, it just doesn't do it for me. Doesn't. Now, I'll just talk about the ride quality. It's very smooth. The tires, even though they're pretty thin, like the 225s up front, it still feels very comfortable. The seats are extremely comfortable. The air conditioned seats, you can actually feel the air through them. Some places, or some cars say they have cooled seats, but these actually matter, and you can actually tell with this car. Besides from that, it can handle its turns very well. I'm not going to get this car all slotted. I'm not trying to wreck this car. I'm just doing a review on it and just giving you my initial thoughts. I've driven a lot of Lexus brands, and I'm not saying that I'm some guru, and I'm not saying you should make your decisions based off of what I'm saying, but I will tell you that if you are looking for a sporty vehicle, $48,000 for this car brand new is not the way to go. Do not spend $48,000 on this car. I don't see the value in that. And quite honestly, I was just at the store before I made this video, and I parked next to a 2020 Corolla, and I was looking at both of the cars side by side. I'm like, man, the Corolla is not that bad looking of a car. And yeah, it doesn't have as much horsepower as this Lexus, but just horsepower and a car actually being fun are two different things. So the Corolla might not have as much horsepower, but it doesn't mean it's not a fun car to drive. I don't feel like this car is a fun car to drive. I feel like this car kind of means business, but not in a fun way. It means to get you to and fro, and you ain't got to worry about it breaking down. Maybe like a rich college kid who wants to kind of flex a little bit, or a woman who just kind of doesn't want a coupe but doesn't want a big old car like a LS or a GS. This is probably the car for you. But single man who's kind of young and you want a Lexus, you're getting this surely or solely based off of the way the car looks, not by how it performs or necessarily the value. There's plenty of cars that you can buy out there for the amount of money that Lexus is asking for the car, and I would actually float more towards the Toyota Corolla hatch. I've seen a couple of them and they look pretty amazing. So, but I'm not trying to hate on this car by no means whatsoever. I'm blessed whenever I get a chance to drive a new car and just kind of give you my take of it. This is a cool car. It's got its normal Lexus features. It's going to get you to wherever you want to be, but I feel like it's a little bit overpriced for what Lexus is really just offering on this car. So, all right, guys, those are my 2 cents on it. Let me know what you think about it. Hit me up in the comments. Am I right? Am I wrong? Is $48,000 too much to pay for this car? You let me know. All right, y'all. It's our cash. Peace.